Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first chapter, entitled The First Step in God Realization. Text number 38. Yanasa Vishwara Vigrahasya Yassannivesha Katito Mayate Sandharyatesmin Vapushi Sthavishte Manasva Nayatosti Kinchit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. I have thus explained to you the gross material gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of the Lord because there is nothing more than this in the material world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has verily explained that the material nature is only an order-carrying agent of His. She is one of the different potencies of the Lord, and she acts under His direction only. As the Supreme Transcendental Lord, He simply casts a glance over the material principle, and thus the agitation of matter begins, and the resultant actions are manifested one after another by 6 kinds of gradual differentiations. All material creation is moving in that way, and thus it appears and disappears in due course. Less intelligent persons with a poor fund of knowledge cannot accommodate the thought of this inconceivable potency of the Lord Sri Krishna, by which he appears just like a human being. His appearance in the material world as one of us is also his causeless mercy upon the fallen souls. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, but by his unbounded mercy upon his pure devotees, he comes down and manifests himself as the personality of Godhead. Materialistic philosophers and scientists are too much engrossed with atomic energy and the gigantic situation of the universal form, and they offer respect more seriously to the external phenomenal feature of material manifestations than to the nominal principle of spiritual existence. The transcendental form of the Lord is beyond the jurisdiction of such materialistic activities, and it is very difficult to conceive that the Lord can be simultaneously localized and all pervasive, because the materialistic philosophers and scientists think of everything in terms of their own experience. Because they are unable to accept the personal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Lord is kind enough to demonstrate the Virat feature of his transcendental form, and herein Srila Shukadeva Goswami has vividly described this form of the Lord. He concludes that there is nothing beyond this gigantic feature of the Lord. None of the materialistic thoughtful men can go beyond this conception of the gigantic form. The minds of the materialistic men are flickering and constantly changing from one aspect to another. Therefore, one is advised to think of the Lord by thinking of any part of his gigantic body, and by one's intelligence only one can think of him in any manifestation of the material world. The forest, the hill, the ocean, the man, the animal, the demigod, the bird, the beast, or anything else. Each and every item of the material manifestation entails a part of the body of the gigantic form, and thus the flickering mind can be fixed in the Lord only and nothing else. This process of concentrating on the different bodily parts of the Lord will gradually diminish the demoniac challenge of godlessness and bring about gradual development of devotional service to the Lord. Everything being a part and parcel of the complete whole, the neophyte student will gradually realize the hymns of Ishopanishad, which state that the Supreme Lord is everywhere, and thus he will learn the art of not committing any offense to the body of the Lord. This sense of God-mindedness will diminish one's pride in challenging the existence of God. Thus, one can learn to show respect to everything, for all things are parts and parcels of the Supreme Body. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
This chapter is called the first step in God realization. So, why it is called the first step? It is called the first step because why meditating on the Virat Rupa, which this chapter covered, why is it the first step? because first we need to understand the connection of the Supreme Lord, the creator of everything, with what we see with our senses. Before our spiritual senses or spiritual intelligence awakens, first you have to understand the world around you as you see it. So, generally conditioned soul is in gross conception of life. His body is this gross body, other bodies are their gross bodies, and all gross material nature. These are all very grossly, we are in the gross conception of life. So much so that if you tell somebody about God, they will say, "Show me grossly God. Where can I see Him?" So such a elementary challenge that they put, foolish challenge. What if you cannot see? How can I show you? What if you do not have, why don't you even think that? So when you challenge, "Show me God," that means you are assuming that you have got the capacity to see God if He comes before you. So the fact is that, it's not very rational. So we tell them back, you can see God, but you have to develop the perception to see God. With your present senses, you cannot see God. Then someone may ask, if you cannot see God, then whatever you are doing is all blind faith. You have not seen God, so it is all blind faith. Yesterday I was hearing one lecture of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is asking his disciple, "How do you know all these things are not blind faith?" He is asking Prabhupada. Then some devotee is telling, "No, this is all Shastra has said." Prabhupada said, "That's all right. Then you have blind faith in the Shastra." Then somebody said, "We have to purify and then we can..." So, Prabhupada is telling, somebody is asking you, "Have you seen Krishna?" He starts question like that. "What is your answer?" Prabhupada is saying. "Have you seen Krishna? What is your answer?" Then the answer begins. Shastra says all. It's all blind faith. Your Guru told you. You have blind faith in Guru. Prabhupada is answering. You have blind faith in Guru. Then Prabhupada answers finally, he says, "Yeah, we realize Krishna by feeling His presence. I am feeling His presence. If you want, you also feel. I am feeling His presence." So you qualify to feel His presence. He is there everywhere. He is in the heart also, everyone. He is in your heart also. So you have to learn how to first feel the presence. And one day Krishna will show Himself up before our spiritual eyes. So first you have to feel the presence of the Lord. That is called Krishna consciousness. Through consciousness you have to feel His presence. Just like you do not see yourself also. Do you see yourself? No. But do you believe that you exist? Why? Because you feel your presence. After you feel your presence, then you are, because body is changing. When you say I am, even if you say falsely on the body, little analysis will say that, no, I feel my presence beyond the body. So, feeling the presence, if I tell a new person, feel his presence, he will not feel. So you have to practice Krishna consciousness. First level of realization of Krishna is not seeing, but feel his presence by hearing from the authorized sources. It's not simply hearing from the sources and believing. Then they'll say, what? You are hearing, so you are psyching yourself up. So you have to learn what is this feeling the presence. Now you all feel my presence here. I all feel your presence here. Suppose I am working in my office. Somebody comes to see me. I have not seen him, he is outside, waiting. My secretary comes and says, so and so is waiting. I have not seen him, but I know him. So I start feeling his presence. I am doing some work, but I am telling, no, he is waiting, he is waiting, he is waiting, he is waiting. This is feeling the presence. The truth is that Krishna is everywhere, Krishna is in our heart. We should feel his presence. So entire Bhagavatam, entire transcendental knowledge is to feel his presence and his function. Upadrishta and Anumanta. Then it gets directly connected to what activities we are doing. You will feel his presence when you understand that he is watching. Upadrishta. Suppose I ask you to come into my office and do some work. Now I am also sitting. You are continuously feeling my presence as somebody is watching. Why? Because I am watching you. I may not be watching also, but still you feel he is watching. Oh, he is watching. He may be watching. But in the case of Paramatma, he is watching. The Supreme Lord is watching. So because we are all part and parcel, we have no existence without the whole. An existence without the whole is just only an existence in the mind. Existence in the mind is called false ego. Just like I think I am this body. But body is not you. So it is a false thing. Body doesn't know you. You know the body. So body is not existence. Your existence. Your existence is you are in the body. So anyway, for those who are beginning of devotion service, since everything is gross, they need to, if they are first taught that everything great is God, the whole creation is from the Supreme Lord. It's called Virat Rupa. All personal, so-called personal and impersonal features are manifested by the three modes of material nature. A Indra mentality is manufactured in the Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa, Virat Rupa is a material form of the Lord. The soul of the Virat Rupa is Shirodakshaya Vishnu, the super soul. The soul of material Virat Rupa of the Lord. So the Virat Rupa of the Lord, just like Prabhupada explains, just like I am the soul seated in this body, so I am the soul in this body. Similarly, the entire material energy, it can be considered as the body of the Lord, material body of the Lord. Lord as transcendental body, material body of the Lord and he is a soul. Because the soul is there in this body is running. Similarly, because super soul is seated in the Brahmanda, the Brahmanda is running. All the living entities, everything. And we should connect this with what Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. The living entities are kshetrajna. This Brahmanda is a kshetra. So, just like super soul is a knower of the entire material Brahmanda, the living entity is also aware of a small Brahmanda. Each body is like a Brahmanda. A little cosmos, this body. And this is connected to the supreme cosmos. My tiny intelligence is one small fragment of the cosmic intelligence. Cosmic intelligence is, we are not talking about transcendental intelligence. Cosmic intelligence is total software of material existence. Cosmic intelligence. And since I am part of that, the little intelligence that I am utilizing, that is part of that intelligence. Similarly, little Panchabhuta I am in, this body I am using, is part of the total Panchabhuta, cosmic Panchabhuta. All these are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a way to understand material nature. Material nature functions almost like for instance, this body almost functions like a spiritual body. The soul is seated in this body. According to different mentalities, different personalities, we experience. I am not this personality, the way I look in the mirror of my body, I am not this. Or suppose I am an angry person. You are not an angry person, your system is an angry person. You are kshetrajna, you are the knower of the field. The Atma is eternally situated as a servant of the Lord. And when he forgets who he is, then he subjects himself to these illusory personalities. How long I will be in this body? And the way I behave, the way I talk, the way I think, the way I feel, it definitely is connected to the way my body is constructed, my mind is constructed, intelligence is constructed. Why you are different from him? Why you are different? Why you are different from him? It's not because your soul is different. These differences are differences of the body. But when my soul works through this body, I think these are my differences. This is my individuality. So this material individuality is no meaning. It's a cheating individuality. As soon as I give up my body, it is gone. My individuality is gone. So what is this tamasha? I want individuality. Where is my individuality? Who you? What is the nature of my individuality? In other words, the question is, who am I? If I am not this body, then which body I am? Suppose you identify with his body. Then you say that, then I will tell you that you are not this body. Then he will ask, which body I am? I will tell, no, not that body, you are this body. Similarly, we have forgotten our spiritual body. We always need a body. It is the nature of personal. Brahman is a person, as against what Mayavadis think. That means we are a person. We are in a community of persons. We are person among all the persons. Nityo Nitya. One among all the persons. And there is a supreme person. So right now my personal characteristics, personal nature is modified through this body. Just like if you have white light. White light is white light. If you take it through a transparent white light, transparent lion's face or translucent, you'll see the light is taking the shape of the lion's face. Correct? And if you look at the mirror, if I am the torch and I look at the mirror, my body is the lion's face. I look at the mirror, I'll think I am the lion. I am a lion. So this is how it is. The soul, the Kshetrajna, sees himself in the mirror of the material mind. Material mind is like a mirror. In the mirror of the material mind, he sees himself as this body. And therefore he thinks he is the body. He thinks he is the body. But except the thinking, the identity that he is the body, everything else is a soul. Yes or no? I am behind the lion face. The image looks like a lion because of two reasons. One is the mask. Mask alone has no meaning. There is no light to shine through. So I am also the reason. So I am also, the soul, all the soul Shakti, because the mask cannot think, feel, will. Only I from behind can think, feel, will. Mask cannot talk, I can talk. And then the mask is so perfectly done, what I talk, it will talk. So suppose a mask talks what I talk. Suppose this mask thinks what I think. Suppose the mask feels what I feel. Then you will definitely, if that all the functions are reproduced from me, I will think, yes, I am that mask, pakka. I will think that thinking is that of the mass. But actually thinking is only modified by thinking, feeling, willing is modified by the mask, influenced by the mask. But the original thinker, feeler, willer, that capacity is only in the soul. So for those who are beginners in Krishna consciousness, if they don't undergo proper sadhana of touching the spirit, there are two truths everywhere, body and spirit. In this body also there is spirit and body. Now we feel the biggest force, the biggest existence is this body. But when our consciousness becomes sukshma by sadhana, we will see I as a soul is a prominent, and this is simply one mask. Because of gross conception, who are you? I am this body. Prominently, that is what is in the mind. But as we develop spiritual life, we will feel that I am prominent in this body. Body is just a dead instrument, I. So that I shifts from the body from bodily concept of life, it moves to intelligent concepts of life. I am intelligence. I am mind. I am social ego. Social ego you cannot see, but still you say, yes, I am social ego. Your life is decided by your free will is going as per your social ego's likes and dislikes. So there is a gross bodily concept of life, then there is a subtle body concept of life, and then there is finally Kshetrana concept of life. Spirit soul is one who has all the personhood characteristics, and these personhood characteristics are just modifiers. Material body is only a modifier of that. So that is the reason we have to understand why it is called the first step of realization. God realization is not realization of gross material energy. But at the same time, we have to understand, we have to recognize that the reality of gross material nature takes us out of the mental platform. It is not being said that as you advance in Krishna consciousness, you have to become mental, you have to become intellectual, and you should not be gross. No, we recognize that gross material nature is creation of Krishna. So therefore, every part of it, Virat Rupa, is the body of the Lord. And with the realization of that, we learn how to respect every energy of the Lord. To respect everything. As belonging to the Lord. Just like by chance we step over another person, immediately we touch. Right? See, our Vedic culture is so fine it is. You step over a newspaper, you are very uncomfortable. I don't know modern generations. You are also uncomfortable, no? Uncomfortable. But I have seen Westerners. No, they are not at all. They'll spread newspaper for a yajna and walk around with them. No asana to sit, they'll take newspaper, they'll walk around, walk on it. But we feel very uncomfortable. That is culture, Indian culture. We don't stamp on written matter. So, this way, everything in this material world, bodies have to be respected. How to respect that? What respect to give depends on how you perceive that. So respect is about perceiving. If you see opposite sex as meant for your enjoyment, then it is sinful seeing, disrespect. So all bodies should be seen as Krishna's property. If somebody misuses, that is his problem. But the body belongs to Krishna, soul also belongs to Krishna. So as Prabhupada is saying here, that this state, first step of self-realization, where they hear, this part of Krishna is this part of Krishna. In other words, nothing, even demons are part of it. Demonic mentality is part of it. Not only positive things, everything in the world is explained. That it is all part of the Virat Rupa of the Lord. And He has a purpose why that Virat Rupa is made. To give opportunity for living entities, to give them all their little intelligence, their little mind, their little ego, all those things. So in this way, millions of living entities are having, just like I leave this body, then I get another little different type of Panchabhuta, a different type of mind. But again, that also I dissolve. Just like when we die, all these elements merge into, my Panchabhuta elements merge into the earth, water, fire, air. It merges into it. Only the self is left. Sukshma Sharira. So to control the mind, to decrease the sense of I am the owner of the body and I am tiny person. God is the owner of the Brahmanda. Brahmanda is his body. From his body I have got my tiny body, which is ever changing. This helps one to understand. Beginning, the difference between matter and spirit. Spirit is super soul. Matter is his body. Similarly, I am the spirit soul, tiny spirit soul, in this total body. Any questions? Yeah.
Started the first step that we have to realize Krishna by feeling himself. So we started that. Prabhupada asked to do this. Somebody asked God gives it. So if you see that since Prabhupada came from spiritual world to climb this material world full of suffering. So spiritual world the real environment, real environment is Krishna is. So but if material person, I didn't know that this is suffering. I feel everything is good. If before I come to Krishna consciousness, everything is good for me. And brain, everything is good and everything is fine. But once I come in touch with Prabhupada, I realized that this is not the real environment, something that is there. I have faith his word because I didn't know what is there in his word. He told me I have faith, and I started having faith in Prabhupada's word, and I got faith. Now I come to know, and yes, it's true. I got faith. This faith is blind faith or how to see?
This faith is?
Blind faith?
No. This faith in Prabhupada is happening not at the intellectual level. It is happening at a feeling level. You felt the presence of Prabhupada. So, heart to heart, that faith comes. Not, as you rightly said, not because you understood everything. Like now Prabhupada says, 4 regulative principles. Why it is bad? What are the advantages? Why it is bad? All the reasoning you cannot understand. Probably it will take 10 lives to understand that. The physiology, the psychology of this, how it affects, how it doesn't affect you, how it has positive effect, negative effect on the society. Why something is bad? When you say something is bad, it means it's bad for you and it is bad for the society, for everybody. Right? Why you say you should not steal? It's bad for you and also you are doing something wrong to somebody else. Isn't it? So, that full realization you don't get in the beginning. Why? But still you follow. Why? You have faith in Prabhupada. Your faith in Prabhupada, if you don't believe that Prabhupada is still there as a spiritual master, you will not have that faith. You will have problems. Faith will not be strong. So faith will be strong if you feel his presence. When you read his books, when you feel that he is speaking to you, then that is the best way to read Prabhupada's books. You feel his presence and read. And when a person speaks, very easy to make out, to feel the presence. You don't have to see. Correct? You are 10,000 miles away in America. I give you a call. I talk to you. We have never seen each other. Can we feel each other's presence? Not seen. Feel our presence. How? Sound. But any sound it cannot. A sound that is revealing his mind. Right? When the telephone rings in America, you don't feel presence of anybody. Ringing sound is there. When he starts talking, then you feel his presence. Then when he starts talking, he just says hello and keeps down. Little presence. Now he talks his mind. This problem is there, that Prabhu, this thing, that thing. You feel his presence. To feel the presence of somebody, you have to feel the person's mind. So to feel the presence of the mind, you have to know the mind. You don't need to see the face to feel the presence. Similarly, Bhaktivedanta purport is a mind of Prabhupada. So immediately you feel his presence. Continuously you will feel his presence. Then it becomes ananda, it becomes a bliss to read Prabhupada's books. Oh, I want to talk to Prabhupada. I want to hear Prabhupada. You don't think I want to read. I want to hear Prabhupada. So your question is, what question it leads to, what you were saying?
In spiritual world, I didn't know what is the Prabhupada said, this is spiritual world like this, Krishna was mentioned everything. So by reading, I had faith on Prabhupada's word. So I was half faith and I was just doing my work with everything. So my mind is that is what is that blind faith?
No, it's not called blind faith. It is called reasonable faith. See exactly what happened. You also applied your reason. Oh, this is correct. God is defined as Bhagavan. Very nice. This is correct. Because this looks very complete. All 6 opulences simultaneously. And Prabhupada is explaining, each of us have little, tiny qualities of Bhagavan. But there is only one person who has got all these things. Then first intellectually, rationally, reasonably, right? Suppose Prabhupada had written that one person is living in Rajajinagar. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Will you have faith? No, it is written in Prabhupada's books. First of all, Prabhupada will not write that. To show that just because Prabhupada writes anything, it is not called blind faith. Because Prabhupada will write the truth. How do you get that faith? Because you read. Oh, it makes sense. Just like you go, the chemistry textbook says H2 plus O is water. You have faith in the chemistry textbook. But you don't sit quiet. You go to the lab, practicals are there, chemistry practicals. You go in the correct temperature and pressure, you mix it. Then you get realization, water, correct. Faith is there. Now there is reasonable faith. Like that 2-3 you see, अरे इसमें जो कुछ लिखा है वो पक्का है. I have no time, that's all, to go and experiment. or I don't have money to experiment everything here in this book. I have not experimented everything. Only few practicals we do. Sulfuric acid, this hydrochloric acid, and this and that, and all those things. Is it not? Everything we don't verify. But we believe everything in the chemistry textbook. We believe. It's a practical thing. If you want, you can follow the other process. Slowly learn. H2O is equal to water. Now, HSO4. HSO4, no? Sulfuric acid. H2SO4. I forgot. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. Hydrochloric acid, HCl. No. H2O I believe. HCl, again I have to mix and see. H2SO4 I have to mix and see. No problem. You will take millions of years to get your degree. But you believe reasonable faith. Yes. A, I checked what Prabhupada says. I have realization. B, I am getting realization. C, I am getting realization. 100% Krishna is there in Goloka Vrindavana. I'll go there. He says he'll take me back to Godhead. Yes, I can understand. So, there is a rational conviction also. In any bhavana, there are two parts. Faith is a bhavana. It is a truth feeling. What kind of feeling? Truth feeling. Shraddha. It's a truth feeling. ये सत्य है. और एटलीस्ट ये सत्य हो सकता है. 90% probability. But you use your intelligence. Okay, you put a challenge to somebody. Give me another better definition of God than Bhagwan. ये भगवान है, वो छोड़ दो. जो भगवान करके बोलता है, whoever says he is Bhagwan, he should have all 6 appearances to complete. Otherwise he is not Bhagwan. So there is an intellectual conviction. And then it's a question of, so bhavana means there is intellectual conviction. So in Shraddha is also a bhavana, there is an intellectual conviction followed by a feeling of truth. Intellectually you are convinced it is truth. You also feel the existence. Yes, there exists somewhere Krishna. There exists this person called Krishna. First is Bhagavan. Intellectually, yeah. Then slowly you feel, I say Bhagavan hai. Sab jagah mein hai, all pervading, within, without, slowly feeling develops. That's why Shraddha slowly develops. If you don't read Prabhupada's books, you cannot develop Shraddha. So it is not blind faith at all. There is a whole process going on. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna is before me. You need Shraddha. But there are different levels of Shraddha. Shraddha means you should feel His presence. If really when you're chanting with Shraddha, if you have attained Shraddha, you will feel His presence. That means intellectually not only intellectually that this is not different from Krishna, you will also feel His presence. Then Shraddha is complete. Okay? Yes.
From so many things we know because we are living and reading from Bhagavad Gita. So we know something from the third way.
Know something from?
Third way. We know things third way. But when it comes to applying the practical way, actually we fail at that time. So what can we do in that situation?
Again, it is the same thing. You know, but you don't act. Correct?
In that situation, I think Mantra is not really
Yes. You don't act in that situation, though you know this is not the way I should act in that situation. So that again coming to the definition of unless you have bhavana, that means unless something is a feeling, we all act because of the feeling. How we see, we feel, how we feel, we act. How we see is intellectually. How we feel is emotional. Feeling, now there are certain things, you look at an object, you have a default seeing and a default feeling, bundled together. So we have, when the bundled together, a bhavana is formed. A bhavana of, let us say, example, take the example of sex, object. Due to continuous wrong perception and wrong purpose of the way in which you saw the opposite sex, it combines together to become a bhavana. Now you read from Prabhupada's books, we are not this body. And male, female, this is all just bodily thing. It is the soul is neither the material male nor female. All this you hear. Correct? Now, this also has to slowly change from, mature itself from intellectual to bhavana. Because ultimately, intellectual feeling cannot counter a bhavana. Bhavana is having the force of a feeling. So now intellectually you are fully convinced, no, I should not see like this, I should not see like this. But your system is seeing like that. By default seeing. Default seeing and default willing. Bundled up together. You are unable to separate that feeling of lust from the object. It is synonymous with the object. So, I'm just telling you the process. I'm analyzing the process for you. So, these things, thinking and feeling is bundled together, inseparable in our perception. So what is the solution? You say, you tell me. No. Just like you created that bundle, create a new bundle, new way of seeing and feeling. That is called perception. Now you have a distorted perception of opposite sex. Distorted perception. Everybody in the material world. Because they don't see the soul. Everybody has distorted perception. Highly polarized. Polarized as man and woman. Is all distorted perception. Just like you create distorted perception, create a right perception. Now your entire mind-body system will change. Afterwards you want to see in a wrong way, again you have to do this. Pure devotees never see in a wrong way. Because their mind, their perceptions are all not distorted. It's all pure perception. They see the soul, they see the body differently, they see the super soul in the body. The mind doesn't degrade by creating all these males and females. They see souls everywhere. How can that happen? How did this happen? You only created the default thing. So you can undo it. But you have to go through a process. Because it is not, chittam is a memory. So that default response to seeing some object will change. has to change.
And how can you develop this culture rapidly?
How can you develop?
How can you develop this rapidly? Actually? Rapidly.
Rapidly. How to speed up?
Yeah, speed up the process
Yeah.
to develop consciousness.
Yeah, how to speed up is, I have given 5-hour contemplation method. That is step by step you follow. Take one example of one object, how you wrongly look at it. Change that perception and see. That means intellectually you have to sit and contemplate. Yeah, it's correct. How can I be this body? But if you tell once, it's not enough. You have to contemplate on it at every opportunity, and then you have to apply that. Relate with other bodies as not people, as simply machine. Deal with the soul, don't deal with the body. When you speak to somebody, you should understand I'm speaking to the person, and person is not the body. Intellectual contemplation, first is to gain knowledge. And then you have to contemplate on that relationship of knowledge. Then emotionalize it, emotionalize it. Repeat that emotionalization. I refined that process 2-3 times, so I don't want to tell what is the, because you'll get confused. The final one you read. It will really work. Take one sample and one, because it's a machine. I only have mixed all these things. You don't get scared. ये भूत हमने क्रिएट किया. भूत को डरो मत. भूत को देख ढकता है. Now I tell you, no, you created that booth. You can create a new booth. You create a new booth. You can say, yes, I want all Krishna conscious booths. Krishna conscious perceptions in my chitta, full of them. As soon as I seize an object, immediately Krishna conscious perception should come. That booth should come. Default. Then no struggle in life at all. No struggle to control senses. Yeah, eternally we'll be controlling senses. There's no need to eternally control the senses. Something we have done wrongly, therefore we need to correct. Otherwise, positive world is not, in the spiritual world, you don't have to control your senses. You don't have to control your mind. Why? Mind will see everything to its truth, absolute truth value. So I don't have to control. There's no struggle of controlling senses in the spiritual world. It is only here. Our distorted perceptions at Shastra Chakshu, everything we should learn, train our mind to see as per the Shastras. Primarily as property of Krishna. Everything is serving Krishna. Everything is His. Everything is His. Everything is for His pleasure, on His own terms. As I understand from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, how Krishna enjoys everything, not like how we enjoy. Just like we may look at opposite sex and say, oh, it's good for my enjoyment. You'll see. Then you don't tell yourself, no, actually this is, I should see everything as for Krishna's enjoyment. So Krishna will enjoy this opposite sex. Krishna doesn't enjoy that opposite sex. Krishna enjoys everything on his own terms. What is a opposite sex person comes before you, what he or she is for you is not same as Krishna's perception. Krishna sees the soul, the love. He doesn't touch matter. So that, how will you know everything? It's called Yukta Vairagya, our perception, how it is connected to. Just like we see this microphone, it's connected now in this temple, it's connected to Krishna's service. So it's Krishna's. Or money. Some money is in your hand. You know, it is Krishna's hand. I have been given to spend for Krishna. Oh, kuch paisa mil gaya. Now I can enjoy my senses with this money. That old perception. Brahmacharis go out and collect. Do they keep anything in their pocket? No. The perception is, they're trained. No problem. Handle money, no problem. Handle money, handle women, handle society, be in the society, do everything. But handle with Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya. Yukta means connection. What is its connection to Krishna? For preaching Krishna consciousness, money is used. That is a connection. Male or female, whom you preach, does not matter. Every soul has to be preached to. So when you're relating with opposite sex, in preaching Krishna consciousness, you relate with Yukta Vairagya. How you have to preach. You are in one situation. So you have to maintain your brahmacharya, your status. How close, how friend. One should not become friendly. One should not reveal one's mind to opposite sex. One should not hear their mind. Mind only, closeness begins. So you should not hear problems from opposite sex. Their family problems you should not hear. Moment you hear that, no, you are associating with the mind of that person. And you get contaminated. Don't hear stories. Conditioned soul is lost in their stories. सब अपना अपना दुनिया है ना. Very interesting, no? We all have our dunya. It is through hearing each other. हमारा दुनिया के बारे में मैं बात करता हूँ, वो सुनता है, उसका दुनिया वो बात करता है, सुनता है, इससे एसोसिएशन होता है, दुनिया एसोसिएशन. सो केयरफुल. क्या दुनिया भी, मेरे सब दुनिया छोड़ दिया मैं. मेरे को जन्म दिया मेरा फादर मदर, उनको छोड़ दिया मैं, यहाँ आया, अभी नया दुनिया में अटक जाऊं. मेरा माँ सबको इतना दुख दे के मैंने यहाँ ज्वाइन किया है. सो अनफेयर. मेरे को जन्म दिया, उनको छोड़ के आया, इधर आके हम बहुत फ्रेंडली है. इनका दूसरा कोई फैमिली का दुनिया में चले गया. कोई बोलेगा प्रभु जी आप स्वामी जी है, अब छोटा है, आप ऐसा समझो, आप भी हमारा बेटा ही है, हमारा फैमिली के एक है, आप ऐसा सोचो. तुम डर के भाग जाना उधर से. रन अवे फ्रॉम देयर. I want to be free. That is why I came here. Now I want to put my mind in stories. No story. Empty of all stories. Only my story is my deity. My dunya is, see, my dunya is, if you are in this temple, किसका family है? प्रभुपाद का family है. राजा अधिराजा गोविंद की family है. He is my boss. He is my Lord. Everything I sit and do here is for them. So उनका स्टोरी में हम ऑब्जर्व होगा, वो ट्रांसेंडेंटल स्टोरी होगा. लक्ष्मी ने ये कलेक्शन करना है, वो तुम्हारा स्टोरी है, वो ट्रांसेंडेंटल स्टोरी है. So each of us have our services. I have my attention. Bridge is not ready. Well, I was coming. Bridge is not ready. So much money is required. Nothing is coming. Don't worry. So हमारा स्टोरी है. सो हमारा स्टोरी में हम उसको कृष्णा को इन्वॉल्व करके श्री राजा दे क्या चल रहा है, कुछ ना कुछ maybe we are not qualified, please do something, we want the seva to be completed. So हमारा अच्छा दुनिया है, कृष्णा है, प्रभुपाद है, प्रार्थना है, प्रेयर है, रेसिप्रोकेशन है, increasing faith. आगे का स्टोरी, पास्ट स्टोरी सोचने में बहुत आनंद आता है। इतना तो खत बन गया, इज आवर स्टोरी मिरेकलस, समहाउ हो गया। सो हमारी तरफ से समहाउ हो गया, लेकिन कृष्णा ने रेसिप्रोकेट किया। ठीक है, इन लोग से अप एंड डाउन जंप कर रहे हैं, खत्म करके देंगे। कृष्णा सैंक्शन किया, हो गया, मंदिर इतना आ गया। सो वी आर इन आवर वर्ल्ड ऑफ श्रद्धा, वी आर इन आवर वर्ल्ड ऑफ डिवोशन सर्विस। दिस इज स्पिरिचुअल, नाउ itself we can be in our dunya should not, in our dunya don't allow nonsense to come inside. No nonsense thinking, no nonsense feeling, no nonsense willing, no nonsense YouTube ये देखना है, वो देखना है, वो सब दुनिया है ना, वो दुनिया को तुम क्यों अंदर लेता है? Sinful images, all these things don't put into your system. मेरा अंदर मत आओ जाओ। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।